Hey everybody, it's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. It is time to get into this latest episode of RuPaul's Drag Race, season 15, a night of 1,000 Beyoncés, but I only saw about two. I only saw the. We're gonna get to the runway. Oh, we're gonna get to the runway, but let's talk about the episode as a whole. Up first, let me just get all the formalities out the way. Up next at 6 o'clock, I will be talking about Real Housewives of Potomac. And please like this video, subscribe to Kiss My Cheeks TV, get in the comments, get in the chat, let me know what you think about the episode as well as I go through this review. Pretty much just my 2 cents. We open up with, the ladies coming in, looking at Spice, wiping the lipstick off of the mirror. Look, I enjoyed Sugar and Spice. I did recognize them from social media. So I was one of the ones at the beginning of the season just wondering what they were going to do, how they would do. I think they need a little bit more practice, a little bit more not necessarily create, just more practice. Creativity in how to approach the challenges. I like their looks. I think they were very creative in some of the looks. But at that, Spice went home. Maybe in a couple of All Stars, they'll be back. Maybe All Stars like 8 or 10. It might be good to. I'm a mess. Don't pay me attention. But anyway, the ladies get to talking, and Mistress wants to poke at Lucy. Look, I enjoy Mistress. I don't mind Mistress stirring the pot a little bit. Entertain me. Entertain me. Lucy, I'm one of the ones who had your back, girl. That week when they did the Daytona wins, I thought you should have been in the top. I did. I'm not mad at her for feeling that way. I always said I felt my top 4 was going to be Sasha, Lux, Mistress, and Lucy. I'm starting to get the feeling that production doesn't want Lucy to be a part of the top 4. And I think Lucy is really good. And I do agree. I don't think she's getting all of the credit she deserves. But Lucy, it's like you're doing good, but it's like, that brings you back to safe. Like last week, your looks you were in the bottom last week, I believe. The looks weren't good at the ball, Lucy. They just weren't good. But anyway, Mistress is kind of, giving it to Lucy. And then out of nowhere, here comes Marsha complaining, feeling like she should have been in the top. Girl, Marsha, you should just be happy you weren't lip syncing for your life this week. I need you to hush. I need you to hush, Marsha. But Lucy is me. Lucy is me, and maybe that's why I like Lucy so much. Like, I'm the type of person, my mom tell me all the time, just be quiet. You don't have to say everything. And it's so hard for me to bite my tongue. Like, if somebody does something to me, or if I see something where I should just let it go, it's a struggle in my mind to be like, just say it, don't say nothing. Just say it, don't say nothing. Just say it, don't. And usually, just say it wins. I'm very usually don't say nothing wins if it's somebody I love, like my husband, a family member, and I don't want to start none with them, and I don't want to hurt their feelings. Usually, don't say nothing wins, but if it's just anybody else, just say it wins. So I'm Lucy. I would have been like, you ain't gonna say nothing to Marsha over there complaining about being in the top, looking like the way she looking right now. That I was here for Lucy's energy to Mistress, but then I was also here for Mistress laughing her face. That is so rude. And somebody like me, that would piss me off. Like, I have to do better at controlling my emotions. I'm usually one where like just this past weekend, and I'm not going to say what happened, but it was an emotional weekend, and I kind of touched on it in a previous video. But like over the weekend, some stuff went down, and I was highly pissed, like highly pissed off. And I'm ready to pop, I'm ready to snap. And it took me a few days to calm down. And then once I calmed down and approached the situation, I had it handled correctly. Because, like I was telling one of my friends, you know, you can be 100% right in your complaint, but if you come at someone irate, they will just write you off as being irate and they won't care to handle the situation the way it needs to be handled. So I needed a weekend to calm down so when I handled the situation, it could be handled. And the situation is handled. But anyway, somebody like Mistress laughing in my face every time I say something, the hot-headedness in me and Mistress would be like this, not necessarily fighting, but we would be constantly verbal altercation. It just would be because I'm not calm like Lucy to just sit back and let somebody laugh in my face every time I talk. I'm be like, bitch, what you laughing at? And then I'm gonna be talk even louder. And I don't care if you laughing at me. It's just I have to learn how to control my emotions. I really do. Especially in social settings. Like I know how to act at work. I know how to act at work. I need to apply how I act at work in all s. No, I know how to act in a lot of places, but I am a very emotional person. But anyway, Mistress is laughing at Lucy, and Lucy just walks off. And then we are where we are. Like we're in the workroom the next day. Rue comes in and lets us know they're doing 50-50, which is a spin on 2020. I like when they interview the people. I think it's a fun improv segment because it's no lines. The three, I guess, people that will be interviewed are Love Courtney, which I find her hilarious. I was introduced to her on RuPaul's Drag Race. Charo, which is a huge personality. And then we have Frankie Grande. Now, I know Frankie Grande from Big Brother. I just don't think Frankie was as hard of an assignment as Love Courtney and Charo. So I felt like the people who had the Frankie team had it the easiest. Now, up first, in the workroom, they were throwing a little bit of shade at each other. I don't care. Let's just get to the challenge so we can get to the Beyoncé of it all. Up first, we had Love Courtney, which was Lux, Mistress, and S Titties. S Titties did the interview. Girl, can I say this real quick? I would like I think I might change my Twitter name to that's too vulgar. That's too vulgar because Kiss My Cheeks has a meaning behind it. So people understand the meaning behind Kiss My Cheeks. But I just love the name S Titties. And I know her name is Selena S Titties. But somewhere in my social media, I want to be in the house of S Titties because I just love saying it. And I just love it. And I have the breasts to match. Like I could be in the house of S Titties. But anyway, Selena had the interview, and Selena, you did cut Love Courtney off. You were in your head. We visually could see you thinking about the next question. How am I going to get my point in? You could see Selena didn't want to fail on her face, and she wanted to make sure she was guiding, where I felt like Love Courtney is the type of guest who probably would have sat there and talked the whole 5-6 minute segment that they had of shooting that interview. And Selena wouldn't have got a word in, and she would have been in the bottom as well. I felt like, and I'm not a professional interviewer, I would like to practice interviewing people to get that skill set up of mine. But how else was she supposed to get her questions in there? Love Courtney was talking and she was being her personality, but I felt like Love Courtney wasn't taking a breath for Selena to guide the interview. So I felt like I'm sure Rue wanted the guests to be entertaining, to be over the top with their personalities, to get a good improv moment. But I felt like Love Courtney wasn't really fair to Selena. Now, Lux. Lux to me was one of the best. She was out there. She got to just, we in the golf cart, girl, hit the gas, give me the steering wheel, let's go. I felt like that was more of a free environment for Lux to kind of cut up. And maybe that's what Selena could have done. Like, you cutting up, I'm about to cut up too. Let's quit trying to be Barbara Walters, Gayle King, Oprah. Let's sit up here and like, Courtney cutting up, I'm cutting up. Let's cut up on the interview. We cutting up, let's cut up. So I feel like maybe Selena felt she should be more serious, but maybe you should have not taking it to heart. I mean, it is a drag race. I mean, RuPaul loves a good chuckle. Maybe no matter what the challenge is, if you can make RuPaul laugh, you can win. So I feel like maybe Selena should have made Ru laugh and just dived in with Love Courtney. Because that's what Lux did, and I really enjoyed Lux's segment. Now, Mistress was the one that got me because Mistress, you got all this smoke for Lucy, and you could laugh and banter and throw all the shade to Lucy, but you got up here with Love Courtney and you froze. It was a want want. Mistress, did you say 2 words to the lady? Did you ask her one question? I don't know. I was really shocked and you were in a food segment. You could have made food jokes. I mean, Mistress, I just felt like she could have I expected more. But everybody ain't good at everything. Up next we had Charo, which was Sasha Colby and Anitra. I feel like both of them did good. Nitra's on. No, it was Marsha, because Anitra was on the other team. Marsha sucked. And the fact that Marsha wasn't lip syncing for her life, Rue. I mean, at this point, just kick. I guess that's what she's doing. She kicking off who she want because the judging doesn't make sense. But anyway, Marsha was a deer in headlights. Now, I didn't understand what Charo was saying either. But you could have just jumped like the same way I felt like with Love Courtney. Don't be serious. Like Charo is a funny person. Just go straight comedy with her. Don't be serious. Say shit maybe she might not understand. I don't know. But you were just looking at her like, huh? I don't know. Failed. Marsha failed. Sasha did a great job. Sasha tossed those cards. Sasha did what I thought a lot of people should have done. Just like, forget being Gayle King. Let's go in here. Or Huda and Kathy Lee, they do them food segments. Throw the cards and let's have a good time. Let's just, whatever Charo want to do. Oh, we tossing salads, adding whatever. Coochie. My man Pig ate a papaya. I love that. I mean, Sasha just rolled with it and she made it fun and she made us laugh. Last was Frankie Grande. Frankie, look, I want to point this out that Lucy said in the workroom that I felt like her team, this is where they failed. Lucy had a blueprint. She said, I'm going to ask about the marriage. You ask about the movie. You ask about this over here. So we don't all end up asking the same questions. And in every segment, you all asked Frankie how it was like to be a newlywed. And as a viewer, I was like, well, damn, how many times y'all going to ask Frankie about his marriage? Like, didn't Lucy give you all a blueprint? Lucy, she did amazing. She went the more serious route in the interview, but she kept Frankie's energy, but Frankie wasn't as high energy as Charo and Love Courtney. So I felt like Lucy had an easier guess to maneuver through an interview. So it's kind of like Lucy had the curveball where everyone else was graded without the curve. Lucy had the curve because she had an easier guess. Not saying she didn't do a good job, but what would she have done with Love Courtney? What would she have done with Charo? We don't know. Anitra, again, the walk around the lot. I felt like Anitra was still asking him about the marriage. So once Anitra came up, I was kind of like, we already know the questions, but I enjoyed the walk, the segment, the lunges, whatever. But about time we got over to Baby Doll, and she asking about the marriage too, and can't figure out how to make this pizza. Like, this should have been light work for you, Malaysia. And I agree. You end up letting Frankie interview you. All these little quick jokes that he was throwing out and asking you, you should have been quick with it, throwing it to him. But as people have pointed out, Malaysia hasn't really been quick with it. Like, she wasn't good at the reading channel challenge. I mean, her snatch game was average. So I just felt like Malaysia lost herself in this challenge, where I felt like she had the easiest one. You had the easiest guest. And to me, making the food was the easiest segment. And I don't know why everyone failed at it but Sasha. But anyway, let's get over to the runway. I think I got a couple of pictures. I didn't upload them as a slide, so they may cover my face. Up first, just because on the group slide they didn't take the opportunity to add her, and so I didn't want to add her either because I felt like she had the worst look of the night. Was Marsha. Nowhere Marsha does this look like this. No, that you did not do. This is not this. You look a mess. You look a mess. I thought Marsha should have been lip syncing for her life. Marsha probably would have done a better job at Single Ladies because at least she a dancer. And oh, we gonna get to that god awful lip sync in 2 minutes. Because let's look at everyone else's look. So Marsha is a boot. Over here we have, oh, Marsha was on the slide. Girl, Marsha was so bad I didn't even recognize she was on this slide. Anyway, up top, Lux. Loved it. I loved it. Let me say this first. Let me say this before we look at everybody looks. We're talking about Beyoncé here. Beyoncé. The iconic looks that Queen B has given you all as a reference. And the looks I'm about to flash on the screen are the best you all could come up with. No one did the iconic lemonade dress. No one did one of the iconic homecoming sweatshirts and little booty shorts. All of the iconic gowns that Beyonce have worn, and that little ugly green number was the best one you could come up with. Marsha, it seemed like Marsha had that green dress already in her closet, and she was like, oh, Beyonce wore a green dress. Let me find a little bit of purple first somewhere, and let's go on over to Drag Race. I feel like y'all let Queen B down. I really do. It's so many just off the top of my head looks that I was just expecting to see. Now I saw Aura. I say her name wrong all the time. She had that cute Balmain homecoming, you know, when she did that little sachet. When she did that little sachet at homecoming to open up the Coachella. Or would have ate that this week. She would have won. I don't know how she would have did in the interview, but she would have won the runway. But let's get back to the picture. Up top, I love Lux. The Bob Mackie outfit we learned because I didn't know RuPaul has worn the dress as well. And I love when Beyonce did that number with Tina Turner. So I love that. That's a toot. Mistress with the Destiny Child puppets, that's a boot. I did not, when I saw them puppets on her shoulder, I said, no, ma'am. I know you're trying to be camp, but Beyonce isn't camp. This was the opportunity to give straight glam. Just come out in the green dress. I would have caught the reference that it was a Destiny Child's reference. The puppets threw it off for me, so boot. Titties. No, boot. It's ill-fitting. I don't like it, and it looks cheap. No one has an iconic look, but maybe when Sasha came around, I immediately, immediately. And it looks exact. I love the lace going up and down the body and the leg. Sasha, yes. You already know how I feel about Marsha. Anitra is giving it to me, but I feel like Anitra, you just put on a regular. I done took the picture down. Anitra, you just put on a regular little Saturday night go to the club outfit and found you a little queen cape to put on top. I felt like you could have gave Beyonce more. Now, Baby Doll, I understand the reference, the hair, the bodysuit, the feathers on the arm. I love everything about what you're wearing, Baby Doll. But oh, ma'am, the sadness of the lip sync. Lucy, yes, iconic moments. But where's the bump? Where's the bump? You pad everywhere else, Lucy. Hips, ass, breast. Where's the baby bump? You sitting up here rubbing a flat stomach. It's a safe. It's a, as they call it, a chop. It's a no ma'am. So I feel like you would have been higher on the list, Lucy, if you would have just added the baby bump and then like bam, we get it. But you just walking around in a pink and black suit. But anyway, those are the runway looks. Who won? Sasha won. I agree with Sasha winning. Lux could have easily won that as well. So I'm not counting out Lux. Lux is a very close second. The bottoms were Mistress, Baby Doll, and S titties. Now let me tell you this. If it was me, I would have replaced S titties with Marsha. I felt like S titties should have been safe and Marsha should have been in the bottom. Yes, Baby Doll should have lip sync. A lot of people were looking for the big girl lip sync. Baby Doll versus Malaysia. I mean, Miss Malaysia is Baby Doll. Malaysia versus Mistress. We didn't get that. I was at least looking for Malaysia versus Marsha. I wouldn't have had S titties down there. But let me tell you this, S titties, they happen to have put you in the bottom. I appreciate that that little piece of fabric came off and you were able to move. You were able to move in your outfit. But the movements that you and Malaysia were doing on the stage, sadness. Beyonce would never, ever, ever. I mean, for the past 15 seasons, I'm going to shake myself for a second. The past 15 seasons, they've been putting Beyonce songs up here on RuPaul's Drag Race. And they've been album covers like songs I ain't never heard before until they throw them up on Drag Race. And I'm like, Beyonce saying that? Okay. Finally, we get single ladies. Like we finally got, you got the choreo is right there. You ain't got to do too much, but understand the video. You ain't got to do too much, but at least get the You could have, y'all couldn't even do this on beat. Y'all was like Y'all couldn't even do that on beat. The little point and stomp. I ain't no dancer. I can't do it neither. But I ain't on Drag Race trying to do it either. Shantae, both of y'all. No, Shantae is Stace. Sashay both of y'all away. If I was a judge, I wasn't impressed. Like, this like messing up Diana Ross. This, you know how much RuPaul loved Diana. Y'all, both of y'all could have went home for this. Both with an F. Both of you all should have went home. You all should be watching the season at home like the rest of us because you have let Queen Bee down. Titties was offbeat with her dance movement, but at least she was dancing. Malaysia was just walking, and it looked like you did not know the words. It looked like you were flubbing the words a little bit, Malaysia. But if Ru had to pick somebody, I agree. Malaysia, you deserve to go home. But trust me, Selena, I feel like RuPaul didn't send you home because you really shouldn't have been in the bottom anyway. It should have been Marsha. And see, Marsha probably would have came on here and killed it because at least Marsha would have been on beat. I know Marsha would have at least been on beat. But anyway, bye, Malaysia. I'm sorry to see you go. I really enjoyed you. I loved your confessionals. I enjoyed you on the show. But you just aren't in the winner's circle, ma'am. Until you can get Beyonce together, I don't know what to tell you. Now you did have one of the best outfits, but mm, mm. Like single ladies, if it wasn't gonna be Anitra and Sasha, don't do it no more. Because from the lip sync Lollapalooza, we already know it's gonna be Anitra versus Sasha in the finale. So save all the good songs for then. How about that? Save the good songs for the finale when we can see Anitra and Sasha tear it up. But anyway, that's all I have for you all this week. I enjoyed the episode. I don't think I stayed around to see what's coming up next week, but I will be reviewing it again next week. Up next, 3 minutes, part 3, Real Housewives of Potomac. Come back, catch me and my 2 cents on that. Until next week, I'll see you all later. Like, comment, share. Have a good night, y'all. Bye.